Newer fans of Stray Kids might not be aware that the group didn't always have 8 members. In fact, they had a member leave the group rather unexpectedly under not the best circumstances. However, over the years, people have put the pieces together, so here's what really happened with Stray Kids' forgotten member Kim Woo-jin. Before joining JYP Entertainment, Woo-jin had actually been a trainee under the rival company SM Entertainment. He trained there for 1 year and was close to the NCT members, especially Jungwoo, with some even saying that he was supposed to debut in the group. For some reason though, he ended up leaving the company and was revealed as a trainee under JYP in 2017. During that time, he took part in Mnet's reality survival show Stray Kids to join the record label's then upcoming group as a main vocalist. The final episode of the show confirmed the 9-member lineup, and Stray Kids dropped their pre-debut mini-album Mixtape on January 8th, 2018, and made their official debut with the mini-album I Am Not on March 26th of the same year. Things seemed well overall, as the group was doing great and the members were so close to each other that they resembled a family rather than co-workers. However, that wouldn't last long as something awful happened. At the end of October 2019, JYP Entertainment suddenly announced that Woo-jin would be leaving the group due to personal reasons. To add more salt to the wound, they also said that his exclusive contract with the company had been cancelled and that the release of Stray Kids' next mini-album had been pushed to a later date. To say that everyone was shocked would be an understatement, especially since things had been fairly normal before this announcement. The group had their comeback with Double Knot on October 9th and announced their next plans, but only a few weeks later the members went radio silent on social media. There were no posts or live streams, and even though fans assumed that they were busy with the release of the album, the whole thing was very strange. So, for the company to suddenly announce that one of the members was leaving left fans with more questions than answers, especially considering how close the members were to each other. Because of this, a lot of people assumed that something big had gone on behind the scenes for Woo-jin to leave without a proper explanation and even terminate his contract with the company. While it was said that he might have left because of his mental health, fans pointed out that the company might have let him sit out schedules instead of just making him leave. Most people even drew comparisons between him and Day6's Junhyuk, who had left because he had dated a fan, saying that the wording of the statements had been pretty similar. So what really happened? Nobody knew exactly at the time, which is why Woo-jin was met with a lot of support from fans after he left. The hashtag #ThankYouWoojin trended at #1 on Twitter, and people also mass voted to get him a billboard. Woo-jin then opened his personal Instagram account in January 2020, which gave fans hope that he would return to the music scene. However, instead of a comeback, his fans were hit with the news of some very serious accusations against Woo-jin. In September of 2020, a Twitter user talked about their alleged experience of meeting an idol at a bar. Even though they didn't say who the idol was, the user said that the idol talked to her and her friends, but they rejected his advances. However, the idol apparently didn't take no for an answer, and he started touching them without consent. The accuser went on to claim that the idol name dropped the group he was in, and when that didn't work, he started doing inappropriate things again. When they rejected him a second time, he allegedly got very angry. The netizens then gave hints about who the idol in question was, tweeting the words Woo and Big 3, and it didn't take a genius to decode that they were talking about Woo-jin. Another netizen then came forward with a similar story of meeting Woo-jin at a bar and him hitting on her, which then allegedly led to Woo-jin grabbing her wrist when she rejected him and tried to escape. Naturally, due to the serious nature of these accusations, Woo-jin had to come out with a statement and denied ever meeting the people accusing him or even frequenting the places where these events allegedly happened. In the same statement, he also announced that he had joined a new agency and would be releasing an album pretty soon, saying that legal action would be taken against those who made the accusations. His agency also released proof that Woo-jin had been at home at the time that the alleged event took place, but at this point, the whole thing had snowballed into something much bigger. Not long after, other accusations started popping up, including a netizen claiming to be Woo-jin's girlfriend and several people saying that Woo-jin had gotten his fan pregnant. Fans, shocked by the whole situation, turned their backs on Woo-jin, going as far as to burn merch with his face on it just to prove how much they disliked him. Whether you believed the accusations or not, it became perfectly clear that Woo-jin had been removed from the group. As we mentioned, his departure came out of nowhere, and since JYP is a big company, it's doubtful that they would let him leave right before a comeback and the group's first concert. Not to mention the huge financial impact it had, as the group and their team had to redo songs, videos, and a whole photo book, relearn the choreography, and prepare for the concert all over again. Woo-jin's handling of the situation also left a bad taste in people's mouth. While his agency proved that some of the accusations were false, they also released a documentary about the issue and used the original accuser's tweet as the thumbnail. If this wasn't enough to some fans, the documentary itself felt wildly unprofessional. Although the company claimed that he was innocent, the way they were treating the topic as a joke made a lot of people angry. A Reddit user said, "It's filled with memes memes and random movie footage, unprofessional language, aggressive threats at people who don't like him, and out-of-place compliments of Woojin that sound like they came straight from Stan Twitter. Even if the accusations were false like they were claiming, their handling of the situation was a huge slap in the face to actual victims of harm. Since then, Woojin has addressed the accident on several occasions, but mostly everyone has forgotten about what happened. But where is Woojin now? He made his solo debut just as he had promised, became the first K-pop idol to star in an HBO Max show, released a few OSTs for dramas, and a second album. Then, on March 18th of this year, fans discovered that Woojin had joined SM's subsidiary Custom-Made through the label's website. For all of you who don't know, Custom-Made is a new producing label from SM intending to change how artists are managed and music is made. It seems like Custom-Made is serious about Woojin, as just a few days later they announced that he would be making his comeback in April. Not only that, but he released a new video on April 1st titled Reverse Breaking the Silence. In the video, he spoke about the controversy, saying that he didn't know what to do when it happened as it was quite strange. When he stayed silent about it and tried to ignore the accusations, the situation only got worse. But as soon as he spoke about the issue, everyone ignored what he had to say. This made everything even more frustrating for him. He also decided to apologize to his former members, as he said, "In the past, after leaving the team like that, I feel terribly sorry about it. Back then, I was still young and I focused on my situation first." Woojin also said sorry to everyone who had been hurt or affected by the accusations at the time. The video itself got a bit of backlash as people wished that he would stop mentioning the group altogether. A commenter noted that Stray Kids have spent more time without him than with him, so they felt there was no need to revisit the past. He finally released his album I Like the Way on April 22nd, featuring the title track with the same name. Woojin wrote the song himself, and it's about doing what you want and not letting others' opinions hold you back. The music video echoed this, showing Woojin breaking free from limitations and forging his own path. Unfortunately, the sales didn't show the same enthusiasm, as he sold 800 copies on the first day and 4,700 copies in 6 days overall. This led to some harsh words from netizens who mocked his return. As for his relationship with the Stray Kids members, it's pretty much non-existent, as they have made it pretty obvious that they have cut Woojin out of their lives entirely. The day that he left, Bang Chan wrote a letter to fans, and in the end he said, "Above that all, the fact that we can no longer be 9, we're in a situation where we have no choice but to accept that reality." Then, in a live stream that happened a few months after, Bang Chan mentioned the subject of trust and betrayal, strongly suggesting that Woojin had done something to betray the team. The staff then quickly ended the stream after this happened, which had fans believing that something quite serious must have gone on behind the scenes for the leader of the group to talk about it so openly. In the same live, Chan had also said, "I know a person who had to face the worst consequences by making a lot of mistakes, and it was because of those mistakes that really affected people around him. We still have no idea why he left, but whatever the reason was, it seems like everyone has already moved on, which is probably the best thing to do in this situation."